'cause I've got a golden ticket. I've got a golden chance to make my way.
Remember to click like, subscribe, the bell notification, and whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support us. What's up, everyone? I'm the Kaiju no Kame from the Toku and Animation News Network. Today I'm taking a look at the second movie from Media Blaster's release of the Kamen Rider movie trilogy Blu-ray set, Kamen Rider ZO. Like Shin Kamen Rider Prologue before it, Kamen Rider ZO was another film released under the 20th anniversary Kamen Rider Celebration banner despite coming out in 1993. The name ZO is actually meant to be a play on the number 20, also tying into this achievement. Furthermore, Toei picked an all-star team to helm the film, which included writer Noboru Sugimura of Zyuranger and Dairanger fame, monster design expert Keita Amemiya to direct, and Shotaro Ishinomori designed its titular hero. Funny enough, Ishinomori wrote the first draft of the film, which featured a Kamen Rider coming from outer space titled Night in the Sky. It was rejected due to how much it would have cost, along with a tight filming schedule that would not allow for such an ambitious project. Amemiya initially wanted to remake the original show's plot as he loved Hongo, but soon settled for an original story while adding his favorite aspects into the lead's character. Lastly, also like Shin Prologue, Amemiya had hoped ZO would be successful enough to launch a regular TV series, though that did not come to pass due to legalities. Is ZO as sleep-inducing as Shin Prologue was? Watch to find out. The characters and plot. Kamen Rider ZO is your basic run-of-the-mill superhero plot. The movie begins with a man waking up on an operating table in the middle of nowhere, holding a watch telling him to protect someone named Hiroshi Mochizuki.
誰なんだ? Neo 生命体 Hiroshi を守れ
We are introduced to Hiroshi on his way home from school when he is attacked by a strange bug-like monster called a neonoid.
Oh, somewhere deep inside of these bones.
Fortunately, he is rescued by ZO and informs his grandpa of what occurred.
信じてよ。だけど変だと思わないか？なぜその怪物はヒロシを襲ったりしたんだ？そんなのわかんないよ。本当なんだよ。
His grandpa naturally doesn't believe him, but finds a file left behind by Hiroshi's missing father, who was a scientist. It talks about turning a man into a cyborg using grasshoppers, along with some information on his lab assistant, Masaru Aso, who looks exactly like the man we saw at the beginning of the film and has been keeping tabs on Hiroshi. At the same time, the neonoid heals itself for a second assault. You could say the neonoid is a bit annoyed.
Oh, sorry. Stubbed my toe.
Hiroshi, his sister Reiko, and a few of her cohorts are attacked by a bat and spider monster.
Oh!
Holy 9 layers of Pan's Labyrinth, Batman! By this point, you have probably noticed a lot of familiar faces here. That's because this entire movie seems to be full of Toku alone.
お前か、どうしてヒロシをつけ回すんだ？ヒロシ君は怪物に狙われている。だからガードしていただけだ。
Asao is portrayed by Ko Doman, who would go on to play Zeke in Blue SWAT.
感情に左右されず、凶悪で、霊理で、ものすごいパワーだけがある。博士はついにそれを完成させたんです。
Hiroshi is Shohei Shibata, quite notable as being Akomaru in Dairanger.
本当に怪物出たんだよ。それにパパだって帰ってくるもん。絶対帰ってくるもん。
Reiko is Naomi Morinaga, or Annie in Scheider and Helen in Spielbahn, Kenji Oba, Masaru Yamashita, Ryoma in Wind Spectre, and Iori Sakakibara as Reiko's buddies.
ヒロシは？
大丈夫みたい。
よし。
Finally, Hiroshi's grandpa is played by Hiroshi Inuzuka, while Isao Sasaki is his father, who was the voice of Joe the Condor in Gatchaman. Hiroshi is attacked yet again, this time getting kidnapped. Obviously, Isao comes to his rescue, which is conveniently revealed to him via a random giant grasshopper. He meets the true form of the Neonoid upon his arrival, a giant 3D coin.
パパはね、僕の成長を見て恐ろしくなったんだよ。さあ、僕をこのプールから解放し、完全な生命体にするんだ。
The film is a bit basic in its approach, and yet that works to its benefit. We don't learn much of anything about Isao beyond the bare minimum that is printed in Dr. Michizuki's notes, so he's pretty much a one-dimensional hero. Nevertheless, the plot is engaging, the action scenes are stellar, it is well-paced, very suspenseful as it's executed like a horror film, and unlike Shin Prologue, it isn't boring. In fact, it blows through its 48 minutes at the speed of light as the film is over before you even know it. If I have any complaint about it, it is the weird scene transition that introduces us to Reiko as Hiroshi is running away from Isao, and it cuts to a bunch of martial artists practicing without any warning, making it feel out of left field.
ヒロシ君待ってくれ。
Kamen Rider ZO was originally conceived to be 90 minutes long, before being reduced because Amemiya decided he wanted to be shown at the same film festivals as the Dairanger and Janperson movies were. I am curious as to what the movie would have been like had it actually been the full 90 minutes it was originally conceived to be, before it was decided to reduce its time so it could be shown at the same festival with the movies to Dairanger and Janperson. Perhaps Reiko and her buddies had bigger roles there, and their introductory scene would not have come across like whiplash. Still, Kamen Rider ZO is a wonderful experience. The effects and music. For a film made on 300 million yen, the effects and music are absolutely outstanding. Though it is not perfect, as you can see the bits of cardboard shatter from a broken pipe towards the end of the film. Ignoring that little nitpick, the monster designs are phenomenal. I absolutely adore the Bat Neonoid. Same goes for the fight against the main Neonoid, and the CGI is not too shabby either for 1993. I feel like I've seen this scene somewhere else before, but I can't put my finger on it. Must not be important. Anyway, the highlight battle of the film is hands down the one against the Spider Neonoid, which is done in stop motion. I am just flabbergasted by how incredible this sequence looks, as it puts many of the battles found in modern Toku shows to shame. I also like the way this jumping effect was done during the first fight sequence. Another positive is the overall design of ZO. It's sleek and looks like an actual carapace as opposed to mechanic plating. It features contours and textures that resemble something alive. The luminous red eyes and abdomen draw your attention thanks to the darker green that is complemented by the golden trim. Eiji Kawamura provided the score, which is quite obvious given how much of it sounds like it was ripped right out of Dairanger. Not that there's anything wrong with that, as Dairanger's soundtrack is amazing. There is an ending theme during the credits sung by Infix. The song, titled I Ga Tomaranai, is pretty solid for the most part. Kamen Rider ZO was a wonderful experience that oozes atmosphere in its short runtime. I do wish it had been a bit longer, but as it stands, it was a remarkable improvement over Shin Prologue and is a must watch. Until next time, bye.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who now is the fairest one of all?